Hey folks, it's Logger John here, and it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's around 5 o'clock. It's September the 17th, and today is the day I'm going to do a review on my new Hustler zero turn. It's the Hustler Raptor X 42-inch cut. I have put on the hour meter over here, I have put 27 hours, just a little bit over 27 hours on the machine since I bought it back in June, I guess it was. I just did an oil change on it yesterday, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. You're kind of supposed to do an oil change. They recommend it after the first 20 hours of use. So I'm a little bit late changing the oil in it. That's 7 hours over, but just didn't have time to do it. But we did it yesterday. There's my dog. Hey there, pup. What are you doing?
Hey, nice to see you.
You going to help me with the review? So we'll just go over some of the things I like and some of the things I don't like about it. So far there's more likes than there is dislikes, but not really dislikes, but just a few things that were probably could use a bit of improvement, but it's been a good machine so far. It's got the Kawasaki FR600V motor, twin cylinder. I do really like the lift mechanism. Here's the lift mechanism right here. So you almost have to sit on it. I'll show you guys. I'm just going to get on it here. So in order to raise the deck up and down, you have different settings right here. I usually put it in that setting right there, which is, I'm just going to stick on my glasses here so I can see. So it would be 2 1/4 inch setting I set it on. 2 1/4 inch. The lowest one would be 1.5 inches. But it's really easy to use. You press on that with your foot. You take this little knob out. You put it in wherever you want it. Take your foot off. It'll raise the blade up and down, or the deck up and down. Push it back in. There's like a little magnet. It's like a magnet that kind of holds that in there. At first I was kind of a little bit leery of that. You know, you probably end up going to lose this, but it seems to stay in there quite well. There's a lot of pressure on it, I guess. I kind of like that system. Now, one thing that I noticed after driving conventional mowers forever, like the regular conventional lawn tractor, this one's a little bit, definitely gives you a rougher ride compared to regular lawn tractors. It's a little bit rough. Now, when I got the machine, the seat was all the way back. I'll show you here. I'll just move my ear protection. I tip it up here. The seat, there's 4 bolts. You can move the seat, just undo these, slide it in here, of course. So it was all the way back. I left it like that for the first couple of weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm going to move the seat ahead. So I moved it all the way ahead. Big improvement. Big improvement. Just in the ride. Just believe it or not, it's only like, I don't know, 2.5 inches maybe. You could move that. And it just helped. It just moved you a little bit forward enough to make it more comfortable. It was easier. You can put your feet on these here. And it did help. I mean, the machine is still rough. It's a rough machine. Like if you're going to buy one, you know, but you're also going a little bit faster too. So I believe this machine is rated for, I think it's 10 miles per hour. you'll never cut grass at 10 miles per hour. Unless you're on like a completely smooth, 100% bump-free lawn, you're never going to cut grass at 10 miles an hour. Not without a seat belt to hold you on there. I mean, it would be really rough at at 10 miles an hour. But of course, the gas tank is under the seat. The filler is right there. One thing I wish they would have did is put a gas gauge on the machine. It would have been nice to have a gas gauge for sure. Even a gas gauge that goes on the top of your tank here, like the lid on the cap. You can get the gas gauges to go on there. Because you're not quite sure. It has, of course, like I showed you before, it has the hour meter. But it wouldn't, I mean, for the price, they could have put a gas gauge on the machine. Because it's really hard to tell. I mean, you can see down there, this is about a quarter tank left. As also, you can see the machine's a little bit dusty. It gets quite dusty. There's the fans for the transmissions right there. And as you can see, they're getting a buildup of grass in there. What I plan on doing actually is buying a small battery operated leaf blower so I can blow all this stuff out. That's my plan anyway. You can see where I have the deflector, plastic deflector, strapped up with the bungee cord. Now you can get, for the front of these, you can get, I guess they call them shock absorbing struts to go on here. Not really sure how they work. You got to take this apart. I did look at them at the dealer. It helps give it a little bit smoother ride on the front. But I think it was going to be about 500 bucks to get them and put them on. So I like this too. You can take this cover off with one bolt. Not sure why they didn't make that just a hand, what do you call them, a wing nut kind of system. But you can take, I haven't had it off yet. You can take this all off, this whole plate comes off. Gives you access to all the belts and whatever, the deck underneath. Another thing, when you're on the machine, you're sitting on the machine. This is my own rule. It's not really anything in the owner's manual about it, but I noticed some guys on videos and stuff, they step off, they put their foot on the deck to get off. I wouldn't do that. When you step off, just stand up and like step off on the ground. You don't want to be stepping on that deck. It's just more stress on the deck when you're stepping on it. Like I said, I've seen guys doing that online on YouTube, stepping off on their deck. Again, go to start it, half throttle, choke, start it, let it warm up 2 or 3 minutes before you engage the blades, and then you give it full throttle all the way ahead. And when you go to turn the blades off, halfway throttle and then turn them off. It's less stress on the belts and stuff. Other than that, it's been a good machine. Like it's hard to get used to. One thing I didn't get used to for a while is having the engine behind you. I'm so used to driving a conventional lawn tractor where the engine's up front. It took a little bit of getting used to that, having the engine behind you. It's kind of nice to have all the heat behind you. All your exhaust is down there. On a conventional tractor, you have your engine up here, of course, and it gets hot. You're getting all that hot air blowing in your face. Right here, I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not, but oh, yep. There's your filter. I cleaned that out yesterday. Actually, it wasn't that bad. You just has a wing nut here. You just take this off, close it back up. Now, I did, like I said, I changed the oil yesterday. A little bit tricky to change the oil. Not exactly what I expected. I don't know if you can see down in here. There's the oil filter. There's the drain plug. I thought it was the same kind I have on my Cub Cadet. Basically, on my Cub Cadet, it comes with a hose. You put the hose on the side of this. You pull out on this and turn it, and then the oil, and then it opens up the valve, and the oil comes out through the hose. And then when you're done, you shove it in and give it a turn, and it locks it, and then you just put the cap back on the end. That's what I thought this was, but it's not. What you do, you see that little L drain right there on the side. You put your hose on there. It comes with I think it might be like 14-inch piece of hose, clear hose. You put it on there, and you're supposed to go down through that hole there with it. And then you get your drain pan or whatever you're using, and you put it underneath there, which kind of sucks, as you can see. Like, there's no room really to put anything. And then you get a socket or a wrench. You loosen, give this about 3 or 4 turns right there, and then the oil will start coming out there, and hopefully go down your hose. And if you can get some kind of drain bucket, maybe even back here. It was really hard. I had a really flat plastic pan thing I used to put down there. It doesn't give you much room. It would have made more sense if they would have put the same kind of spigot that's on my Cub Cadet, that's 20-year-old technology. Kawasaki could have maybe went back and looked at some of the old technologies and some of the other machines. It's so much easier. You don't have to use a wrench, anything. You just pull, turn, hook your hose on. Like, even your hose could come back here, and your pan could be down there. It would be so much easier than trying to go through this hole and down by your transmission. That's about the only beef I have with changing the oil. It was, no matter what you do, especially when you take off your oil filter when you're draining it, you wait till it drains and then you take off the oil filter. It came off really nice. But you're going to have to get, well, I didn't have any, but I just had some rags that you put down here. Because once you take this off, you're still going to get oil spilling everywhere out of your, unless you're, if you try to get it out of there as fast as you can and get it tipped up so it's not spilling oil everywhere. But you're going to get oil all down in here, unless you have some kind of, you can buy those oil absorbent, I don't know what they call them, pads you can put in there. You don't want oil all over your new machine, but it was a little, it's not bad. It's not bad. Out of a 10, I give it about a 7.5 as far as oil changes go. These tires on the back, they're what size? Big Bite, they call them. Big Bite Armstrong tires. They got a picture of our rhinoceros on the side here. They're pretty aggressive. You got to be careful. Any fast turns on your lawn, you're going to rip up your lawn. But one thing, and they told me this right from the day I walked into the dealership looking at these. They asked me if I had any hills or any slopes, side slope hills that I cut, and I really don't. I have a little bit down there along my driveway, a little tiny bit, because these machines do not like steep slopes going sideways. Up and down, okay. Sideways, no. Very, very, I'm going to use the word scary on a side slope. I don't know what it is. You just want to, the machine, it just wants to spin out. Like, if I'll show you guys, I'll go down right now and show you the side hill that I'm talking about. Okay guys, I'm down here at my driveway. Kind of hard to see, maybe there's my driveway going out. Kind of hard to see this, but it is a slope right here. Not very much. It kind of starts like right here, slopes down, and then it gets really slopey right here, and you go up there.
Oh, there's my dog. Hi.
It's okay. So what I do is I mow the lawn, and then this strip here, I come this way. It's not bad if you're going up this way. It's fine. But if you're coming down, if you're up here and you're coming down here with that mower, right, it does not like it. The back end will spin out on you. It'll spin right sideways. And it's not pretty. It's a good thing I don't have a lot of slopes. Like, that's really the only slope that I have. Like this right here, I don't cut with. I cut this with a push mower, 2 or 3 strips, or a couple strips here. This section here, it's just, maybe it's hard to see on the. Like it's pretty steep. You couldn't even do that on a conventional. Well, you might be able to do it on a conventional mower. I've did it a few times on my conventional lawn tractor, but it's kind of sketchy. So I do that with a push mower. But this section here, I do. But I've learned to come up here, up with it. It seems to be okay going up there. But yeah, going down, not so good. Okay, well, see you back up at the lawn tractor. Okay, I'm back here at the Hustler. So yeah, so basically these casters on a conventional lawn tractor, you have your front tires that steer, of course, and it helps keep the lawn tractor stable on slopes. Basically, believe it or not, the front wheels, even though they're not doing anything other than steering, and you have the weight of the motor at the front, it helps. This has no weight on the front of this machine. There's a lot of times and places on my lawn where it's a bit rough. One of these casters will be right off the ground, and it'll just be spinning every which way. These do not steer. You have no control over these like a conventional lawn tractor. They're all there are casters, and they just go wherever they want to go. Especially on uneven ground or on a slope. So when you're on a slope, these are not helping you. You can pull and do all you want on these. And your mind's telling you, in your mind, when you're on a slope, like the slope along my driveway there, your mind is telling you that you need to push this lever a little bit more than that lever over there. And the next thing you know, you're spinning out. It'll spin the back end of the machine right around, sideways almost. It's quite scary. If you think about it, you're really only riding around on 2 wheels. Even though there's like the 2 main drive wheels and then the casters, you're basically driving on 2 wheels on this machine. It's kind of a balancing act with these front casters. And that's what makes it a little bit rougher too. Like I said, all the weight's at the back, so if you have a lot of slopes, a lot of steep hills, the hills is fine. You can go up and down hills, it's fine. But slopes, no. If you got ditches and a lot of stuff, don't get a 0-turn mower. At least not one of these smaller machines. I'm not sure about the bigger commercial ones, if they're better. Maybe they have more weight, I'm not sure. I know Cub Cadet makes 0-turn with a steering wheel. that is actually hooked into the front casters that actually the machine will steer, like you actually steer these, but it's not really a true zero turn. But other than that, I like the machine. The seat's really comfortable. These are a must if you're buying one, an armrest. Motor's reliable so far. It's a Kawasaki, of course, but you got a little bit of protection back here with the bumper, the heavy bumper, protect your motor. You can get a tow hitch package. I don't know what I'd be towing really, but a trailer, I guess. But lots of storage, put stuff. You got a cup holder, which is kind of funny because you can't really, unless you stop and take a drink, you can't really be drinking and driving because you kind of have to have both hands on these. I'm closing it right now. Close this one. Move my ear plugs, ear protection. There you go. So I don't even drive the machine with my hands up here most of the time. I put my arms my elbow right on the armrest here, and I actually steer from down here. I find it more comfortable. One arm here, elbow on the armrest, and the other elbow here, other elbow there. I just find it more comfortable. It doesn't take hardly any pressure on these to turn. A lot of guys have both hands up here, one on this side, one on this side. I just don't find that comfortable, but that's just me. I like it, the fact that, so you turn your blades off if you have to get up and move something off your lawn, like for my case, like dog crap, I gotta go get the shovel and move it. You can turn off your blades, push these out, and it's locked, and you can get off it and it'll keep running, which is nice. You don't have to turn your machine right off. Other than that, it's been, I mean, it's 27 hours on it. Runs good. I figure I have to, so it's September the 17th. I probably have, maybe, depending how long the season goes, maybe, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks left of cutting grass, maybe. I'm not sure. Some years it's longer. Sometimes I go to the middle of October, around these parts anyway. Sometimes it's closer to the end of October, but you're pretty much done cutting grass for sure by the end of October. But the grass, as you can see, is really greened up. We've had quite a bit of rain here the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is nice. So I highly recommend one of these machines if you have a nice lawn with not too many slopes. Now there's different models, of course. Like this is the lower end kind of model, as I guess you could say. I mean, they make a commercial grade commercial mower. Actually, this is more like a commercial. They call it commercial grade, but the bigger machines are actually commercial machines. They got the roll bar and the whole 9 yards. Another thing is kind of not really anything to do with the machine itself, but I'm so used to driving a conventional lawn tractor, and there's a couple places on my lawn over by my garden there. There's a few limbs that hang out, pine trees or whatever. And of course on a conventional machine you can use your one arm and, you know, push the branch back or whatever out of the way. Well, this one you can't really do that. You can't really take your one arm off the controls really and push the brake. So you kind of got to duck underneath, and other than, I mean, that's kind of trivial really if you think about it, but you kind of got to have both hands on the controls. Unless you're going really, really slow, and then you can take your one hand off for a little while. You know, if you got to pick your nose or something, but if you're cutting at a speed, no. It's kind of neat though that it's all, you know, you can see quite a bit of dirt, like I said, down in there. Grass buildup and dust a bit. But there's the battery, of course. Not very big battery. Well, I can't really think of any more things about the machine, other than so far so good. Kind of wondering though why, I mean, they always want you to buy accessories and stuff, right? You can get a light kit for them apparently. I don't really need that. I'm not cutting grass in the middle of the night, but maybe this time of year I can see that being good, because around here, these parts, it's like dark at 7:30 now. So I could see if, you know, you're trying to finish your lawn and, yeah, it's getting dark. I can see a light thing maybe working this time of year. It's a pretty simple machine. You know, if you look at it underneath, there's not too many moving parts. Pretty easy to work on. Pretty easy access to the deck, especially if you take that off, the floorboard there. You can look underneath. Pretty convenient machine to work on. Okay guys, well, that's it for that review. I was going to try to do a 20-hour at the 20-hour mark, but I missed it by 7 hours, but oh well. At least we got the oil changed. And then I think it recommends, I'll have to look in the owner's manual, but I think I read where it's every 50 hours or once a season. So okay guys, well, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and give you some ideas if you want to buy a zero turn, whether it's a Raptor or a Husqvarna or a Kubota or whatever. I know one place I looked at there before I bought this, the guy had a battery. He had a battery zero turn he was selling at one of the dealerships. I forget what kind it was. It was kind of interesting. Full battery operated zero turn. And he said it was good for up to, I thought he said up to 2 acres for the big model, but it was a lot of money. I think it was almost 8,000 bucks. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but I can't think of it. But I just didn't think a battery operated one would. I'd be a little bit surprised if they would work out. Like, I'm not sure. Be interesting to see them working. I mean, battery technology has come a long way, but just not sure about a zero turn mower. I know they have push mowers out now, and they do have conventional battery operated lawn tractors, but I haven't really talked to anybody that has one, so maybe they would be good. I don't know. Don't have to buy gas. This is actually surprisingly good on gas for a twin cylinder. Of course, I use the high test gas premium, but anyways, enough rambling on here. So we'll catch you on the next one. The next, I'm going to do a review on my another review on my walk behind trimmer, and tell you what I like and don't like about that. So there's more likes of this machine than there is things I don't like about it. But there's my dog. She likes it. Do you like my machine?
Yeah. You want to drive it? Yeah, you could drive. I could teach you how to cut the lawn. Eh? Yeah. I could teach you. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl.
Well, folks, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed my some of my videos for this summer. My tractor pull videos, truck pulls, and different things. I got some more truck pull and tractor pull videos coming up. And today I was at the Middleville Fair up in Middleville, and I got some footage there. It was pretty good. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.